Rory, your team, Chelsea, away at Everton on Sunday at 2:00. And you must be, full of confidence for this game and full of confidence for this title race, I think.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I agree actually with your wording there. Not full of confidence for this game. I think we can win it. I think that we're capable of winning it. But I also think if we do go and win it, going to Goodison and getting a win, then it's a real statement for your aspirations for winning the league. But I'm not full of confidence. I think it's a very difficult game. I'm always...
Do you know what? Everton have been sneaky good. They have. They've not lost many games in the last kind of 10 or 11.
Also, it's such a dice sort of game to get a point out of. You can imagine them at home just sitting back, making life really difficult for us, stifling our creativity, defending for their lives, and ultimately coming away with a 0-0 or a 1-0.
The one thing I would say back to that, though, is that actually out of all the teams, I think, this season in the Premier League, all right, you've got to give it to Liverpool, of course, but Chelsea have been so good at unpicking locks.
Yeah, we're the top goal scorers in the Premier League.
Exactly, but I think that's the key point, that is unpicking difficult defences, where teams like Arsenal, we literally saw last week, found it really difficult to break Everton down.
Yeah, there's no lack of creativity in our side, and I do believe, if this Chelsea side, if we can go to Goodison Park and get a win, however it comes, doesn't matter if it's ugly, there's no such thing as a bad win there, right? I'm always of the belief that going to Goodison is a tough game. I think Goodison is one of the best. I'm kind of gutted they're leaving there. I think it's one of the best away grounds in the country. And it's a shame that they're moving on. I wish them sort of the best as they do that. But if we can go and get a win there, I think that's a real statement from us. I really do. I think it's almost one of the biggest statements that you can make. Going to Goodison when it's tough, they're going to have their backs against the wall. The atmosphere is going to be about as raucous as it will be anywhere this weekend in the Premier League, and they're off the back of a point at Arsenal, a good valiant point at Arsenal. So I feel like we can win. I think we will win, and if we do, I think that everybody in the Premier League who has genuine designs on winning the Premier League title will be very aware of this Chelsea challenge.
Are you still of the opinion that because you have Robert Sanchez in goal, you can't win the league?
I think
it's impossible.
No, I'm not. And do you know why? The reason why I think we can win it, I don't think we're favourites. I think it would be one of our biggest and most impressive title wins ever if we win it this season. But I think that we just have to talk about Enzo Maresca, because what he's managed to do is he's managed to compensate for our shoddy back line. Now, we've got a very dodgy back line, really, and we've got probably the worst goalkeeper in the Premier League. And yet what we've managed to do is offset that, and this is down to Enzo Maresca being such a visionary. We've managed to offset our issues at the back and become a really potent, brilliant team because we score so many goals.
Do you think it would be the most impressive title win in Chelsea's history?
Yeah, I think it's the only one that it would be comparable to. If you think about our most impressive title wins, the only one that it would be comparable to would be what Antonio Conte did in 2017, when he took a team that finished 10th. Like the Jose Mourinho team the year before went so wrong. He ended up losing his job. It was a season that petered out into nothing, literally nothing. The squad wasn't particularly good. You're looking at players like Papi Djilabodji and, it wasn't a good side at all. And suddenly next season, Antonio Conte came in and totally blew Chelsea into a side that nobody expected us to be. I think Antonio Conte is one of the best managers that Chelsea have ever had.
But this would trump it.
I think this would trump it because the culture of the club then was a culture of winning. Whereas Enzo Maresca would have come in and effectively had to establish a culture of winning, which I think deserves more credit than kind of keeping one going.
Yeah, will be a very interesting game. And I think you're right that it would be yet another statement from Chelsea as well. Leicester City against Wolves.
I mean, this is one of the games of the weekend, isn't it?
It is.
It's one of the biggest games of the weekend. Because
Wolves keep being in these games, don't they?
Yeah, they do.
Huge games. They were on the wrong end of that game against Ipswich. That's cost Gary O'Neill his job. Both of these clubs have twisted. Yeah.
What do you think? Bad time to play Wolves or good time to play Wolves?
I tell you what, one thing I will say is I watched my own team, Newcastle, play Leicester last weekend.
It's a good time to play Leicester.
Very, very poor. But you say that, but
it's always a good time to play Leicester.
Heading into the game, they'd won against West Ham and they'd picked up a draw against Brighton very, very late on in the game, and they were heading into it, and I kind of thought, well, Van Nistelrooy's got a bit about him, and we're a bit inconsistent at the moment. They were very poor, Rory.
Yeah,
I did think they were very poor.
I don't think they're a particularly good side.
No.
And, Van Nistelrooy's going to have his work cut out for sure. I think this is such a big game now. I think on some level, this is the biggest game of the weekend.
Do you know what I'm finding amazing? Is I think I'm right in saying, and producer Olly may be able to help me here, I don't think Cunha has been banned yet for this game.
Must have been.
No, you saw that all that stuff with
the
glasses taken off. He hasn't been banned yet.
Do you know, like the elbow to the back of the head was bad enough, but you cannot snatch someone's specs. Come on, that is the worst.
That should be a 10-game ban.
That is the worst. It's below the belt, isn't it? It's so
that poor
below
fella
the
literally didn't see it coming.
Also, you can't do that. There's rules to the game. And I'm not even a stickler for that. I quite like the dark arts or whatever you want to call it. But you cannot snatch someone's glasses.
The dark arts of the game is not taking someone's glasses
It
off.
is. That would be considered a dark art of the game, I would say. But, you just can't do that. It was such a weird decision from him to do that. Because I think it gives you... when you see somebody doing something like that, if you see somebody in fight mode, I reckon you learn a lot about their character. And if he's the type of geezer that snatches the glasses off an older man, a gentleman... in the middle of a fight, well, he's going to keep him up, isn't he? He'll do anything. He'll do anything to keep that team in the league. He'll take his ban and he'll keep him up because the man is capable of anything.
Got to show that kind of character, haven't you?
No, I think. I can't work it out with Wolves. Do you want to play Wolves this weekend, or do you not want to play Wolves this weekend? I think you want to, don't you? It's good timing for Leicester to play them at home.
At home, I think, is the difference. I think if Wolves had been at home, it might have been a bit of a different story. The issue is, we still don't really know. I think that Cunha's going to play. At the moment, he's going to play. That's going to make a massive difference, isn't it? Because, we don't know whether... he's such a difference maker. That'll have a huge impact on the game.
I would say that the quality of the Wolverhampton Wanderers squad should survive.
Yeah, I think they will.
The quality of their squad is good enough to survive, isn't it? I know that they've been sold a bit of a dud by their owners. I know that they've got rid of too many good players. But even bearing all that in mind, they're not a bad side.
No, they're not. Huge game though, because if Leicester win, they could move 5 points clear.
On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app, and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.